the sweet harmony. Someday we'll all be free.
Hey guys, what's going on? La-di-doo. How's it going? Man, you know, like, I gave you guys that quiz yesterday, and, I'm telling you, if only that quiz was all about, the candy bombers, right? And if only there was something, if there was something I could do, show you guys, all about the Berlin Airlift. I don't know. There's nothing, no. There's nothing I could possibly do. You know, nothing at all. Unless... Oh, I wonder where that came from. Oh, sidewalk chalk wars. Berlin Airlift style. I'll show that again in a little bit. Yeah, I lowered my, yeah, that's real footage. I filmed it yesterday in the driveway. Also, I lowered the stream quality a little bit just to see if I could help with that lag, fellas. Mr. Volger, it only took me like 3 hours to do everything. That's an hour less, yet less than yesterday, Delaney. An hour less. That's amazing. Ah, feels good. Live footage of World War II, 1944 colorized. That's true, Mark. I have a time machine, and I went back there. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. It's the truth. Whoa, oh. Can't see behind the fourth wall. Yeah, so do you guys want background music? Yes or no? Before I get started on our fabulous Berlin Airlift lesson and dividing Germany up. By the way, if you look back at that sidewalk chalk wars, you'll notice my son and I divided Germany up. Alex, is that to me? You want background music? Allie Gilroy says no, and I'm going with Miss Gilroy today, so no background music. Good job. Also, if the chat behaves and you're not spamming some silly nonsense, some outlandish thoughts, if you're on topic, I'm going to leave slow chat off, all right? So I can have people ask questions on the fly. Though the chat goes a lot faster for me, and so, yeah, you might have to ask that question more than once so I can see it. Because every now and then I'm looking at the camera, and then I'm looking at the thing over here. So, yeah. Or I could just move the camera. No, but then you see the basement behind me, and that's not good. All right. Virtual Spirit Week. I did bring that up. Phenomenal job. Check this out. This is my Kindle, my good old-fashioned Kindle. And if you open up said Kindle, ta-da! All right. So the book I'm reading, and it's a crazy one. It's a crazy one. Hold on. Gonna bring it out so you can see the title. Is do you see it there? Do you see it? There you go. It's Clive Cussler, Poseidon's Arrow. It's an action adventure. Think like Indiana Jones, right? Think like Indiana Jones, but there we go. Think Indiana Jones, but like amazing, right? So it's all about like a marine biologist who like worked for a government organization called NUMA, which is like the National Underwater Marine Agency. And basically they go on like shipwreck finds, and they always get caught up fighting pirates and things like that, and looking for buried treasure and things like that. And it's super good. It's modern. Think it like James Bond meets Indiana Jones. I love it. Numa. And it's, yeah, so read a book. Today is reading a book for a Spirit Week. And yeah, another thing I've been using that really helps. Ready for the reveal? Here we go. Ready? And there's the reveal. That's it. I've been looking at that one, helping me with some lessons and stuff like that. Yeah, Alex, the regions got canceled, sir. That's what I heard too. Now the question is, what are they going to do for like the August regions? And I also heard that you guys are not going to be required to take it to graduate. I think they they got rid of it. We'll find out though. Yeah, you're the teacher. Give Delaney, give yourself 100. You deserve it, guys. You see, every day on stream, I bring a little bit of Disney World. There it is, into the stream, because I love Disney, and I'm sad that it's closed. Is there actually going to be grades, or is everything going to be pass-fail, Dante? Well, we're in discussions for that right now, to be quite honest with you. But as of right now, there are grades, and I think your administrators want there to stay grades. So it's going to kind of be a mix, I would think. I think it's not going to be pass-fail. There's going to be grades, but it's going to be more like a B, C, D, right? Type situation. So yeah. Okay, so now let's get started with today's lesson. Hopefully Sidewalk Chalk Wars doesn't interrupt us again, because that would just be absolutely bonkers. I mean, who... Yeah, I don't know why that happened. It's so crazy. Okay, so let's go on. Here we go. So today we're going to learn all about how Germany was divided. After World War II ended, what do you do with Nazi Germany? See, after World War I, hold on a second. After World War I, hold on. I got this annoying air conditioner in the back. I'm going to shut it down. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so after World War I, right, Germany was blamed for that war, and now there's World War II, and of course Germany's blamed for this war. And so a lot of countries didn't want Germany to continue. They wanted to end Germany, right, forever, to stop. So let's see what we're going to do here. Boom. That didn't work. Hold on. Everyone relax. There we go. So real quick, remember, this is all about communism and capitalism, okay? The reason is because Russia, a communist country, is the number one country that kind of defeated Germany during World War II. They defeated them on the Eastern Front. We defeated them on the Western Front. And so whatever happens to Germany, communism is going to be involved, and that's something that we do not like as a country. So after World War II, a state of hostility developed between the United States and the Soviet Union. One major reason for this tension was the clash between communism, the economic system of the Soviet Union, and capitalism, the economic system of the United States. Both wished to promote their economic system in occupied areas across the globe, including occupied Germany. Now, so that's a little review. So dividing Germany, let's get into it. So World War II ends with what is called the Yalta Conference, okay? The Yalta Conference is held in the Ukraine on February 4th and 11th, 1945. That is before World War II ends. Hitler kills himself in April, and Japan surrenders in August. So this is months before World War II officially ends. And at this conference, the big three, the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union, meet up and they discuss what will happen to Germany after the surrender and how they're going to continue to attack and get Japan to surrender. Roosevelt, FDR, the President of the United States, wants a United Nations, very similar to a League of Nations, but with some major differences, and we'll get over that at a future date. Stalin wants to protect against further German invasion, of course, right? Russia's been attacked now by Germany for 2 world wars, and they want to stop that. And Winston Churchill of England does not want to give Stalin much power because, remember, Stalin is the Soviet Union leader, and he is a communist. Why did we care what a different country did? Well, we normally don't, Delaney, but the problem is that Germany started World War II, and we blame them, or the world blamed them for starting World War I. That's two world wars that Germany is kind of wrapped up in. And so now, if we don't care what they do, we're scared 3 will happen, right? And so we're going to shut Germany down before that happens. So the Yalta Conference, you can see here a very famous photograph with Winston Churchill sitting right here. FDR is in the middle. By the way, not healthy at all. And Roosevelt is over here. Stalin is over here. Literally, the Secret Service in Britain, right, MI6, they notified Churchill after this meeting, telling them that they did not think Roosevelt would last 60 months by the way he looked. He was not a very healthy guy at this time in his life. And sure enough, Roosevelt will die shortly after this meeting in the spring. So the Yalta Conference, basically they agreed upon the following terms. They were going to divide Germany into 4 zones, which Britain, France, the United States, and the Soviet Union would occupy after the war. Bring Nazi war crimes to trial. So those are the 2 major big things, right? They're going to divide Germany up into 4 sections. Germany's not going to be allowed to be a country anymore. And they're going to have court cases to bring the Nazi criminals to trial because of the human atrocities that were committed during World War II, like the Holocaust. Any questions so far? Any questions at all? Anything at all? Any questions? Like, just throw them out there. Here we go. What do we got? Give me your best question. Ready? Here we go. I want to hear from someone I haven't heard from. I got 53 people watching, yet there's only like the same 12 people in chat. So someone else throw. Christian, no question. All right. Well, hi, Christian. It's good to see you, sir. Spencer, if you're referring to your mother by her first name, that is not good, Spence. Don't be doing that. That's Mrs. Buff to you, sir. Why was France not in the meeting? Well, because France was defeated. They were conquered by Germany during World War II. They were completely taken over, and the United States liberated France when we invaded Normandy, and we continued to take over and fight the Nazis back out of France. So France was given a section of Germany after the war simply because they border Germany, and we want to give them a buffer zone. And if you look, the side, we're going to get to that in a second, but the section of Germany that France gets is the border from France and Germany. But they're not allowed at the conference because technically they didn't really help, like the United States, England, and Russia did, actually defeat the Germans. So let's continue here. You can see here is a map of Germany being divided, and I am in the way. So we're going to move Mr. Volger. He's going to walk. Hello, I'm moving over here. There we go. And we're going to have England's the green. The United States is the yellow. You can see France is the blue, which, remember, I talked about the border. And the Soviet Union is the red. And then if you zoom in here, if we zoom in there, that's Berlin. And we are going to divide Berlin into 4 sections also. So kind of cool. Did I look like I clown hair? Is that... Doesn't look like clown hair, Christian. You're incorrect, sir. Oh, we're skipping ahead. All right, so we're going back to, there we go. The United Nations was founded on October 25th, 1945, so this is after World War II ends, was established after World War II with the global goal of preventing future wars. They don't prevent all wars. They prevent global wars, like future world wars. The United Nations replaced the failing League of Nations. One of the major differences you have to understand between the United Nations and the League of Nations is the United Nations actually has an army. Okay? And this is a big deal because what this means is that the United Nations can actually send soldiers into a territory if that territory is not listening to rules. Where the League of Nations just talked. Hello, sir, please stop. They never actually could do anything, forcibly do anything, but yet the United Nations can. Its headquarters located in New York City. Some of you might have seen it. Delicious coffee. And the members of the United Nations work together to solve their differences and keep the peace. I had a friend who says, I don't like the United Nations. All they do is talk. Talk. That's their point. Their point is to avoid war. The point of the United Nations is to talk. That's it. So when you're talking, you're at peace. When you're shooting, you're at war. And we don't want that. There we go. There's the United Nations in New York City. It's a beautiful area. You could check it out. I had a friend who worked as a security guard there. It's pretty cool. All right, the Nuremberg trials. So on to the second part, right? These were a series of 13 trials carried out in Nuremberg, Germany between 1945 and 1949. The trials were most notably for the prosecution of prominent members of Nazi Germany who planned, carried out, or otherwise participated in the Holocaust. The crimes charged before the court were crimes against humanity, peace, and war crimes. And these men were ultimately put to death. So pretty serious. Have you ever watched that show on the History Channel, like the Nazi Hunters? Basically, some Nazis escaped to South America and like Argentina, and they continued to be hunted down by FBI, CIA, and other operatives across the world, all the way until like the 1970s and 80s. It's pretty cool. Well, not cool that they escaped, but cool that we hunted them down, because that's what you do with people who committed the Holocaust. In all, 199 defendants were tried at Nuremberg. 161 were convicted. 37 were sentenced to death. What was their defense? Why it wasn't, we were just following orders, not a defense. So that's going to be your question of the day, by the way, and we'll come back to this. But basically, their defense was, dude, it wasn't my fault. I was just following orders. I was just following orders, right? And when I joined the military, like in the third week of boot camp, they tell us that we are not to follow an order if the order is unlawful. So in the military, if they said, hey, Volger, go shoot that innocent person, I am not allowed to follow that order because it is an unlawful order. So the argument of, hey, we were just following orders does not apply. So no Nazi during the Holocaust who says, like, I didn't want to do it, I was forced to do it, I was told by my superior officers to commit the Holocaust. That is not a defense, right? It's kind of like telling your parents when you get in trouble, like, all my friends were doing it. You guys know that's not a defense. So there you go. Tyler, is it still lagging? Are we? How's the lag going? Because I dropped the quality of the stream, but I can drop it some more. I think the interwebs are a little kooky because of the whole coronavirus thing and everyone using them. Let's see. Is the United Nations and the League of Nations still a thing right now? The United Nations replaced the League of Nations. The League of Nations pretty much failed with the start of World War II because the whole point of the League of Nations was to prevent World War. And the United Nations took its place, has some more powers than the League of Nations, like an army. And today, the United Nations still exists today. No lag. Great, Dante. Spencer, can we go 480p? That's the whole stream? Or just the person watching it? All right, I'm going to keep going because, yeah, here we go. Because, spoiler alert, there might be more sidewalk chalk wars coming up ahead. I don't want to drop the stream too much where the resolution of that gets affected. All right, Nuremberg trials. Here are some photographs of it. It was a pretty somber occasion, you can imagine. Yeah, so. Now, let's come here for a second. Hold your horses, sir. I gotta find my my sheet. Cold War. That's what we're looking for right now. We're looking for the Cold War. All right, what do we got? What we got? Ba, 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 ba. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek while I look for the Cold War thing that I'm looking for, and here we go. Here we go. Enjoy it. Oh, right. So yeah, what? Crazy. Let me tell you something. Right. Come here for a second. All right. Here's the thing. Someone in the chat just wrote, "Why don't we just nuke North Korea?" Well, believe it or not, someone in chat, that's what General MacArthur wanted to do. Right. So after the general of the Pacific Theater during World War II, he continued to be the general of the Pacific Theater after World War II, including the general during the Korean War, and this general, when China invaded, okay, he wanted to nuke the Chinese army. And Harry Truman stepped in and said, dude, you can't nuke the Chinese army. What are you doing? You can't use nukes. And up to that point in history, the general makes the decision on what weapons to use during warfare. So I'm having a heart-to-heart with you right now. And Harry Truman said, well, nukes are not like every other weapon. Nukes are different. Nukes are special. That these weapons need to be handled carefully. And the general was like, nonsense. I make the decision on what weapons I use. I want to nuke the Chinese. And Harry Truman stepped in and said, you are fired, sir. He fired General MacArthur. And then he said, from now on, the only people that can announce whether the United States uses a nuke in combat is the President of the United States. So in that move, two things happened. One, General MacArthur's political career, this very powerful president from World War II, was ruined. Okay, he probably could have been president, but from this moment, being fired by the president, it ruined his future. And two, the president today in 2020 has to be the one to decide whether we use a nuke. No one else. All right, back to business. All right, so what were the reasons for the war? All right. Well, the Korean War is the first hot war of the Cold War. The Cold War is peace between the Soviet Union. It's not right. We fight strategically and through spies, but we don't actually get into armed conflict with the Soviet Union. That's why it's called a Cold War. Well, there are some hot moments during the Cold War, like Vietnam or Korea. But the thing is, they're not hot moments between the Soviet Union and the United States. America goes to war with North Korea. America goes to war with Vietnam, but America does not go to war with the Soviet Union. And the Soviet Union goes to war in Afghanistan, and they go to war in different places, but they don't go to war with the United States. This is why it's called the Cold War. All right, so North Korea, the Korean War started because the North was communist and the South was anti-communist. The Korean War started on June 25th, 1950, and ended on July 27th, 1953. All right, so here we go. All right, it was a bad war, guys. It was no joke. Was it actually a war? The Korean War was actually a war, right? So this is a hot war during the Cold War. North Korea suffered over 1 million people died, right? So it's pretty crazy stuff. And here you have a map, right? The red is North Korea, communists, and the blue is South Korea. And in the sidewalk chalk wars, you see that we kind of show how the map changes. So the United States is involved. We're gonna go through this quick. Uh-oh. I don't know if I want to continue. I'm nervous now. Here we go. Well, we skipped it. All right. Too many words. I need some pictures. I want maps. Give me maps. All right. While I get this ready, I don't know. Maybe something could distract us. I don't know. Maybe I don't. All right, we're back. That's the last time I'll show any of the sidewalk chalk wars, but hopefully after talking about it and re-showing it, you kind of understood what we were doing. So if you look up here, there are 4 stages of the Korean War, right? The first one is this red line here is the 38th parallel, okay? And North Korea immediately starts the war in June through September 1950, and they invade, and they push the North Koreans all the way to that little toe right here, okay? And then what happens is the United States, South Korea is begging for help, and the United States is like, are we just going to let communist North Korea take over a free capitalist society? No, we're not. So we invade, and we come in here, and we push the North Koreans almost to the end, where they're stuck against China, and it looks like they're going to lose the war. But China steps in, because China's communist at this moment, and China's like, are we just going to let capitalism take over a communist country that neighbors China? No, they're not. And so they invade, and they're going to push us all the way back past the 38th parallel. And ultimately, we sign a peace treaty on the 38th parallel. And the sad truth is, it's a truce. It's not a peace treaty. That's a lie. It is a truce, okay? And the war started on the 30th parallel, and it ends on the 30th parallel. So the war literally pauses in the same spot it started. And North Korea and South Korea have been at a ceasefire, a truce, since 1953, meaning that the Korean War is not actually over. It's still going on today in 2020. It's just they're at a ceasefire, okay? There's been no peace treaty signed, which is why the United States today in 2020 still have a large amount of soldiers in South Korea on the border protecting the 38th parallel. Today, the 30th parallel is referred to as the DMZ. It is the demilitarized zone, meaning that neither North Korea or South Korea are allowed to have soldiers or people into this on the 30th parallel. It's like a 2-mile stretch of land that that no country is allowed to have it. And supposedly they say that there are more landmines in the DMZ than everywhere else on planet Earth added together. So it's pretty crazy that they defended it that much. Are there any questions in chat? That's pretty much it for our lesson today, right? It's the beginning of the Cold War. Technically, we're just into 1953. So World War II ends. They divide Germany up. The Berlin Airlift takes place, right? It happens. You guys are reading about that in your quiz. I don't want to get into too much detail about that and like spoil the quiz. But basically what happens is, we'll talk about that later. And then the Korean War starts up in 1950 and goes to 1953. So the Cold War is off to a rough start right away. And if there are any questions, here we go. Yeah, the bot will delete your comment if it feels like it is off topic or unusual. I saw Robert Fahey posted like sidewalk chores is awesome, and then the bot like removed it. Just kind of deal with the bot. It's there to help us. Well, don't post so much, and you won't have to worry about the Nightbot. Why don't the demilitarize the DMZ? I don't understand the question, Robert. Ask it again. There are 1 million landmines in the 30th parallel. That's crazy, Sam. I knew there was a lot. I mean, can you imagine like a dog running loose in that? That'd be a dangerous situation. Why don't they demilitarize the DMZ? They did. Oh, you mean with landmines? Well, no, they're talking about like North Korea puts mines and South Korea puts mines in the DMZ to prevent the other side from like sneaking in. So that's why they don't. No one's listening, and technically they're not at peace. Tyler, that seems a little violent. Did you grade the quiz from yesterday? No, I'm going to wait till Friday, Delaney, because some kids are going to do it late. Not everyone watches it live. Like right now we only have 58 people watching. And so some kids, I know like Nay has been watching it like later in the day and things like that. So definitely you don't want, I'm not going to grade it till Friday. All right. I am going to finish grading last week's question of the day though. Any other questions at all before we end this wonderful, beautiful stream? Tomorrow's stream is going to be a little bit shorter because I'm going to come on at 9:30 a.m. on the dot because I have a meeting at 10, and I don't want to be late like I was last week, so I'm probably going to make the stream a little bit shorter, so just be aware of that. I know it causes lag in the stream, but I'm a real big fan of like showing you guys at least the video that I made in the stream once or twice, because then I can get out from behind this computer desk and I could pre-record it and make it awesome. When is all the work due for the end of the quarter, Daniel? Well, I believe the end of the quarter is, let's say, this Friday. And so I would get it in as soon as possible. But again, all the teachers are told to be pretty lenient, so I wouldn't worry about it. If you're concerned about specific work, just reach out to that teacher. No, Delaney, they understand that I am teaching, and they prefer me to teach students rather than talk to them because that's my job. And so I did not get in trouble. I did text them letting them know I was going to be late, though. Plus, how many times am I late to second period when we had school, right? Because I was always at meetings. So it's about time that I'm late for them, not you guys. Was I supposed to do the quiz yesterday, Ashley? No, you weren't. As long as the quiz is done by Friday, you're good. So don't worry about that. Don't stress yourself. So what's the question of the day? Yes, Christian, question of the day. Let's go check this out. All right, question of the day is, hold on, where is it? I got to find it. Close your eyes. Here we go. All right. What was their defense? Why wasn't we were just following orders a good defense? So what I'm going to do here is we're going to take this right here. We're going to copy that. We're going to go over to Google Classroom. Here we go. Christian, I appreciate you helping me, sir. I almost forgot. That would have been a disaster. Let's go to question of the day. Here we go. So I'm going to post it right here. So, Wednesday. Question of the day is... Oh, by the way, I spelled Wednesday wrong. Just hold on. Everyone relax. is, and put a little thing there. Why wasn't, why isn't, not why wasn't. We're going to go with why is we were just following orders not a good defense for soldiers in war who commit crimes against humanity. Okay, so I want you to explain this, right? So why do you think that this we were just following orders right here, okay? Hi, Spencer. Why do you think that is not a good defense for soldiers? Crimes against humanity or soldiers who kill, they're not following the rules of war. They're killing innocent people, civilians, non-enemy combatants, and like the Holocaust, okay? So, and I'm going to put in parentheses here, think the Holocaust. So there's your question of the day, guys, all right? And I believe this is, no, let's, I want to capitalize that. Hold on. There we go. So here's your question of the day, all right? We're going to copy this. There we go. And I'm going to send this. This is period 2. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share this with all classes. All right? So this way every class can see. There we go. Post. There we go. So there's your question of the day. Any other questions before I leave? Guys, behave in chat, or, tomorrow I'll put slow mode. Are we going to have to redo 8th grade, Delaney? No. You're going to 9th grade, whether you like it or not. So you're good with that. All right, guys, I'm going to leave for today. I think you guys did a good job. I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, 9:30 stream tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Don't forget that. Don't come on at 10 and be like, why is it ending? That wouldn't be good. So I will see you guys. And Caitlin, don't worry about graduating. You still got 4 years. But yeah, you are graduating 8th grade, if that's what you're referring to. Oh, yeah, wrap-up show. Remember, last week we did a wrap-up show on Friday at 3 p.m. You should check it out. I kind of answer all these big questions I've been getting all week. We talk. My wife's on the stream. It's super fun. It's for the whole middle school. Plus, Dr. Reggio and your other teachers make announcements, and we kind of get to say hi. I'm going to have I'm going to have a guest speaker on. So make sure that you come on 3 p.m. for the live stream. Matter of fact, bots, let's make sure that we spam that tomorrow. I'll remind you. Derek, we are going to have chat on for the weekly stream. We just didn't want to do it the first time, but we will have a chat on Friday. It's not Mrs. H. Delaney. See, you think you know? No, it is Mrs. H. You got me. So, yeah, that's really how that's going to work. So Friday, 3 p.m. Plus Friday at 12 p.m., we're going to be doing the drive-by. I'm going to be looking at my car window. I'm going to put a sign on my window that says the Vultures. And my son, my wife, and I are going to be driving around and waving at you guys in the caravan. It's going to be rad. Make sure 12 noon on Friday you were standing in your front yard waving at me, because that would be funny. Yeah, so that's something that's kind of cool. And don't forget Virtual Spirit Week. Like, start sending some pictures. You could send them on Twitter and just hashtag the school. Or, start sending pictures of yourself. Like, embrace the Spirit Week. Get your books out, people, right? Clive Cussler, Poseidon Arrow, get your books out. Start embracing Spirit Week. What is it tomorrow, by the way? What is our Spirit Week for tomorrow? What is it? Anyone in chat, please post what is our Spirit Week for tomorrow. I can look it up, but Matthew Albino wrote Hola on Google Classroom, so that's what I'm wasting my time looking at. Pajama Day! It's Pajama Day, which is funny because you're probably all in pajamas right now. But I'm going to be in pajamas tomorrow, looking rather dashing. So there you go. Bye, guys. Have fun. And don't forget to do the question of the day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Please let me know if you liked Sidewalk Chalk Wars. It's hard to say. Bye, guys. Bye.